Welcome back to the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast. On today's show, we have Michael Colligan and Greg Ehrich. That's right. We're doing a hot blast, just Greg and I. We got some stuff to work out. We're very, very tight right now. We got to let loose. We got to let release the pressure. But in the meantime, what we want to tell you about is Grip Lock Systems. That's right. You're hanging light fixtures. You're running around selling lighting. Grip Lock Systems is crucial. Go to Grip Lock Systems, GRIPLOCKSYSTEMS.com, Greg Ehrich, right now.
He can talk and spell. Look at that guy.
Ooh.
Hey, their Rincon system, that's a patented UL recognized, only available from Griplock. It's a powered suspension system that's a both power and suspend your Class
Ooh.
2 lighting fixtures with a thin cable, clean, modern, elegant look without the need for a separate cord. That's awesome. Right from Griplock, they've got it. They also, OEMs, quit supplying chain and V-hangers. Put Griplock right with your fixture. They're the best. Make install so much better and easy and looks best. Everybody should be using Griplock. No more. Get rid of everybody else.
Those beautiful power supplies, that's such a nice idea. Go to griplocksystems.com. That's right. National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors, your crucial shield. That's right. You have light bulbs in a warehouse. You sell them over a counter, website, over the phone, whatever. Doing projects, go to nail.org, NAILT.org. What do you got, Craig Ehrich? What are we talking about today?
Well, it's a special guest of you and me. What year did you start lighting? The year. Not the month.
Late
the
99. Late
1999.
1999. Late
All right,
1999.
we're gonna play a little game.
Okay.
Called the phases of our lighting sales careers. So I want to look at kind of if we put it into eras or phases or whatever the term is. I'm sure you'll come up with something. But how have you evolved and what have you sold over the years? Because it's interesting when you look back. And I was thinking about this the other day, and we talked about it even on the show. I think it's like we're all in like phases with another
Yeah, Brian
person
Amerson,
we had.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just thought we could expand on that a little bit more. Is what phases have we seen and gone through in our careers? And I don't know if it's best to go right down the line or just kind of hit like chunks of years at a time. I think maybe that, like you're
So
starting.
I would break it sort of 99 to 2005 would have been a phase for me.
Okay, tell me your phase then, because I started in 2006, and then we'll get into where we both were together.
So 99 to 2005, customers, like lighting was like a subscription business. Okay. Customers would order on a regular basis. You'd have an order desk, people answering phones, and the orders would come in and you get commission. So once you got a customer to start buying lights from you, that customer was extremely valuable because they would order on a regular, predictable basis. And you could even call people up and say, hey, you need any light bulbs? I'm trying to make my quota this week. I'm trying to make some extra money. Give me 2 cases of this, 3 cases of that, box of tubes and a box of ballast. Boom, ship it down to the guy. Bada bing, bada boom. Things are going. And there was like this element of it where it was regular, right? And the companies were very valuable. So those kinds of businesses become very valuable that are predictable revenues. And then what I noticed was that during that phase, though, was that people kind of wanted extra services. Were interested in energy efficiency. So it's like, can you install my light bulbs for me? Can you can I save energy? Started to come up, right? And so that was a phase where I started experimenting with different services alongside the sale of light bulbs. And so that was the first phase to me. And then one of the things that I did that I made a ton of money, but I've never been able to teach anyone else to do, was I'd put on my rollerblades at night and I would go down the street. And if I saw that person's storefront sign was burned out, I had a giant sticky note pad. It was like a sticky note. And I would write on there your sign. It said, your sign is out. And I would give them a price on the note. And I would stick it on their door and I would do a street. And the next day, people would call me. And they would say, yeah, my sign is out. So I get 5 or 10 deals. And then I'd go on a Sunday night and I'd fix everyone's sign. Because on Sunday night, there's no inspectors. There's nobody driving around. You're not going to get a ticket for being
You fixed it?
Oh, yeah. I just changed the light bulbs.
Oh,
I
just
just
change the
changed
open
the
it
light
and
bulbs.
pop the bulb. Okay,
And
yeah,
then if
yeah,
and then if something else was wrong, I'd open up a small sign, not the big signs, but I'd open up a
yeah, yeah.
small sign. I'd have a box of F84s, F96, whatever in the truck, F64, F48, and I'd change the light bulbs. And then the next day I'd go and pick up all the cash. Yeah, that was my favorite day. Monday morning, cash, 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 right? And then I would sell them light bulbs for inside their stores. Right? It was a great way to get customers. And then, but I could never figure out to teach anyone else to do that. I could never
Well,
figure out how to do that.
first of all, you're rollerblading at night. Let me just back up a little.
Well, it's a Toronto City street, right? So you're going down in the
Oh,
summer,
you all lit and
just
everything.
rolling
Okay.
along. It's not dark. I'm just going along. It's
Got it.
fast, right? And I used
Yeah.
to rollerblade back at Yonge Street. People that are from Ontario know Yonge Street, Mount Pleasant, Bayview, all these different streets, Bloor Street, and I would get them. I would get the customers by fixing their signs. And I
Sure.
built such a nice business with that. And so that was phase one for me, was really selling light bulbs, getting that subscription service going. I was on commission. I wasn't an
Hmm.
owner of a company. And I
Hmm.
just had the orders coming in, and then I was adding services and trying to sell other stuff to people.
Yeah, and what's funny is mine is very similar, but I kind of put it at 2006 to 2008 is what my thought was. Is I didn't know anything, right? I just had started, and so I'd go everywhere. Every building I could go in. I had my old camera back then, or cell phone, I think we had, but I had a separate digital camera too, taking pictures, writing things down on notes, finding broken lenses, any little thing you could find to get in the door, and then I was carrying things, I was delivering things, I was screwing stuff in, just getting supply business going. And I felt that was really my first 2 years was that. So what happened to you in 2006?
Well, what started in 2002, I think it was, maybe it was 99, I can't remember. But the first rebate program started to tweak out, right?
Hmm.
And so I can't remember, it's 2001 or so. It was early on. And I did like this big lighting ballast change. I changed the person from T12HO to T8HO. Changed the
Nice.
ballast. I didn't do the ballast change, but we did it. And every single one of those ballasts failed over the next year. And I had to go back there, fix the ballast, fix the damn ballast kept burning out everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
These T8HO ballasts kept failing, and it was just like a nightmare.
Hmm.
And that first job that I did, it was a nightmare. And but by 2006, I kind of got a hang of the project side of the business. I
Okay.
realized that group replacement, whether it was lamps or fixtures, was the way to go. Group replacement was a way to make a lot of money in lighting, right? Now,
Sure.
whether that was taking down halides and putting up T8s or T5s, or whether that was retrofitting from 4 lamp to 2 lamp, looking at the system as a whole in the building was a way to really crank up your revenue. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I started doing lots of projects. I started an electrical contracting company in 2005 because I've been,
Mhm.
working with these guys, and I thought I want everyone to be my own. I want to be in control and tell them what to do. And so then we got that going. But from 2005 to 6 to 7 was when people started to come to me. I had this flyer that I created, which had it was like a 3-page opening one, and it had every type of fixture, the top, call it the top 20, 4 lamp, two
Yeah.
lamp, 1 lamp, HID, wall pack, whatever. And then beside it, it would show the retrofit kit. It would
Hmm.
have a price for the materials, a price for the labor, and the approximate energy savings over the life of the light bulb. Okay,
Yeah.
per fixture. And a utility came by because we were doing a program of giving away free CFLs to people. So people could get 5 free CFLs or whatever. And so I
Sure.
was amazing at that kind of stuff. And the guy said, I really like this flyer of yours. And he said to me, I said, oh, okay, great. Well, what do you like about it? He's like, you can really just go into any one of these places and you can retrofit a fixture from 2 lamps to 1 or whatever. And this is the price for sure. I'm like, yeah, it's for
Yeah.
sure. It's an estimate, but it's like 99% of the time we can do it. He's like, really?
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, all right, okay, let me come back to you. So then I got a call, and he's like, yeah, can you do a pilot install for this utility up here in the town near Toronto? I'm like, sure. And then they gave me the entire town. Every single small business in the town, I was allowed to upgrade for
Hmm.
$1,000, every single store. Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude. Just like, and like,
That's the best.
I was the distributor, the contractor, and the lamp recycler. So I got
Full package.
every single piece of the profit that was involved in that.
Hmm.
And uh, and then another town gave it to me. So another town came and said, and these are monsters. Like they're small towns when you say them, but really they're huge towns. Like
Yeah.
you can work that. I worked those for 7 years, dude. From
Yeah.
2007 to 2014, it took us. And then I went after Toronto, and then the big guys came in and just rolled me over. But I was way better at it. Like our extra sale rate was the highest. We sold
Hmm.
more than $1,000, probably about 40% of the time, and everybody else was like less than 10%.
Yeah.
They could only give away the 1,000. But our guys, we were hammering it. We sold with the front end guy that signed the deal, and we sold with the electrician who did the install. You sure you don't want me to do the rest of these right now while I'm here? I got the
Right.
stuff on the truck. It's only 4 fixtures left. You're gonna have two different kind of lights? Yeah,
Yeah.
just do them. Boom. We were cranking it, dude. Those were my best years. So my best year, my life transformed from being like a regular guy, Canadian guy, to being a wealthy person from 2007 to 2014.
So that was your phase of projects, really, like fluorescent, energy efficient lighting
That was
projects.
my phase of direct install programs, being really early on that, and people giving you
Yep.
massive contracts that I would
Hmm.
never have been able to get later on.
Yeah. Okay. And when I look at mine, really 2008 to 2015 is what I put. It might have been 14, where it was very similar. I didn't have towns and anything like that, and it took me a while. I was a little late to the game, I think, in my area, just because when I started, I didn't
Mm,
really know about how the retrofits worked. But then when it started, where you did T12 to T8 for sure, T8 energy efficient T8, 28s and 25s, replacing that. Sometimes ballast factors, gold null ballast, putting reflectors in,
yeah.
doing all that, and then but really it was the high bays where those round 400
If it's
watts
round, we
come
take
in.
it down.
Oh yeah, coming with a six
Get
lamp
that
T8.
induction out of here. I never fell into the induction hole.
I did 5 induction
I
projects. Yeah,
never did one induction project in my entire career.
yeah,
I
yeah.
sold a couple
So
when people called and asked me, but I never did one. You know what we used to call it? When we
yeah,
were rolling it with my team here and all that, we used to call these direct install programs the base load.
okay,
Because every month we would do this much. And like
yeah,
every project on top of that was just gravy. Like you throw a
yeah.
$100,000 lighting project on top of that. Oh my God, dude. I was swinging through the trees with a knife in my teeth. Wah! Just like crazy. And my wife used to tell people like, "What does your husband do for a living?" He sells light bulbs, and people would be like, "Huh? What does he do?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm
Does a
slitting
lot of
throats
light bulbs.
everywhere."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Crazy.
so it took a while, but and I remember how much I did a ton of training to figure out how lighting worked and
Yeah.
get a good understanding of it because when you're taking out something that's 400 watt and all this light and you're trying to say, well, we can get by with 18,000 lumens or whatever you know, people are like, how? Or this reflector, and you had to get into all the science of lighting and everything,
Oh,
and
people pull out the
that was
catalog. They say 400 watt highlight has 4,000 lumens.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
buddy,
totally,
coefficiency of utilization. All this
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Like I had to pull out in the old days, like when I wasn't so sure of myself. Now top G,
yep.
right? But in the
Now,
old
now,
day,
yep.
now top G. But in the old days, like I used to have to argue with people. Now I just shut them down. Like,
Yeah.
no, don't worry about that. That's not gonna. That doesn't matter.
Right.
You
So
don't know what
that
you're
yeah, that
talking about.
phase was so we're pretty similar in time. I mean, yours was longer because you started a little earlier too, but that was totally all fluorescent retros and
Yeah.
rebate programs
Ooh, I loved it.
and all sorts of things.
So
So
good.
really, I think what that era was like. I think that was really figuring out energy savings
That
and
was
that
the
lighting.
era when the lighting industry controlled the lighting industry,
Yes,
right?
for
Like
sure.
people, like you had to, like if Paul Hafner told you what's up, buddy, you know what I mean? You
Oh
got to
yeah.
go. Like I told him I don't do tests, Paul, and he was mad at me. He's like, you got to get your LC. I'm like, I don't take tests. He's like, no, you
Yeah.
got to get your LC. I'm like, nah, I don't do tests. I'm not into that.
Yeah, I did mine in 2012. I'm looking on the map right
Right.
here. So
So, but I
2012 is when
mean,
I did mine.
the lighting industry was in charge. And
Hmm.
then 2015 rolls around, LED rolls around, boom, somebody rolled a grenade in the room.
Yeah, because from that era was like there was also places like you couldn't get into places if you didn't have one of the big threes. Like
Yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
had,
Yeah. Oh,
are you a GE House? Are you Sylvania? Are you Philips? If you're none of them, like we weren't really to start, we couldn't get into certain places. They didn't want
yeah.
to hear any other brand, and it's like, oh, so we can't sell to you. So that was interesting, but that was definitely
No one ever
that
got
time frame,
fired for buying Phillips.
right? So then it was really I put like 2015 to 17, maybe 14 to 16. It's hard to keep track, but
Mm,
of figuring out what the hell LED was. And I remember, still quoting fluorescent, super T8s and high
sure.
efficient T8s, and I was quoting LED, and I was like, I don't know, which one do you want to do? Kind of that uncertainty time
Mm,
where and that's totally what happened when everything blew up in the lighting industry was those 2 years of, is it fluorescent? Is it LED? Hey, we're not going to go LED. We're going to be the last ballast manufacturer standing. They're gone. We're going to be,
mm.
we're not going to do type B LEDs, all that stuff. But I think that those first 2 years was kind of figuring it out. Is that what you felt too? 14 to 16, 15 to 17?
I saw the writing on the wall about 2013, 14.
Okay. Yeah.
And when we went to China and we saw those
That
factories,
was
how
it.
big those
Yeah.
factories were, and they were
Yeah.
just cranking out tubes. And like we were in that one place where we went in the back door, and the guy was wearing his sandals, and I took the picture of the guy with his sandals, and the guy freaked out. They got all mad at us. Oh, you got that picture, right? And he was
Yeah.
standing beside like a molten aluminum tank, and it had molten
Yes.
aluminum to
With
make
flip
the
flops on.
with flip flops on.
Yes. Yes. I do
I'm like, this
remember.
guy's wearing flip flops. I gotta take a picture of this guy. No, you can't take a picture. No, I want to take a picture of his feet, just his feet,
Not the product, the feet.
just the feet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then going down the line, I'm not gonna say names, but one line was this brand, one line was that brand, one line was this brand. Can you make the different quality? Oh, it's speaking and translating in Chinese to the factory manager. Ha 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 ha. Translate back. Da-da-da. My boss say making different is not good idea. Very hard to make different. We make all
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's totally just opened our eyes to it. And it's like,
Yeah,
wow,
I was like,
that's
whoa.
where
We
it's
did it.
going.
So those listening, Greg and I did a LED factory tour in China in 2014 over 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember a period. We saw all these different factories everywhere, and
And we're still alive.
yeah,
It
I
was
almost died. But anyway, that's a whole other story for another
so then,
podcast. But
right.
so let me just comment on that though. I saw the writing on the wall when we went to China. I said, this is over. And I knew it. And I kept selling fluorescent because I didn't, I didn't like, I didn't like the trajectory. So I held
Yeah.
on longer than you did. You know that too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I held on, and I kept doing fluorescent into high bays until about 2017, and then they sunsetted the program that was really pushing through fluorescent, and we had to go LED. And
Yeah.
listen, you can go back and listen to this podcast, which started around 2016, 17. You'll start seeing what I was saying. I was saying the same thing then. Start from episode number 1. I was nervous about all this stuff. So that was so that and then from 2000 say 14 or so 15 or something like that to about 2018 is when we suffered from irrational exuberance in the lighting industry. You know,
Yeah.
and I never bought in. I think you were 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Would be my comment on you.
Yeah.
You were
I'd
kind of
agree.
like in and out. You were like, I don't know, but yes, but no.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people drank the Kool-Aid. Light fixtures are never going to burn out. Cree came out with their 10-year warranty. 10 years. We're going 10 years. It's never going to burn out. Oh, yeah, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but Top G ended up being right about everything.
Yeah.
And everyone hated me all the way along the way. Somebody shut that guy up. How many years have other institutions in this damn industry been telling me to shut up?
Since I've known you,
Yeah,
2009, 8. Yeah. Yeah.
2009. That guy's got to shut up. Why? Because he's right. We don't like it.
Yeah. But speaking the truth, Mike.
Yeah.
And then so I say basically from 17 or 18, and I'm kind of seeing a shift in my end. And again, maybe not there as much, but or for you, but the beginning parts were let's always retrofit the fixture, for me at
Mm.
least. Like let's always find a way to
Not
make
the
that existing
halides, though.
fixture. No, that one was a replacement usually, but a lot of them were gone because we already did T8. We took them all down and put T8s in.
Sure.
And and it's reselling to a lot of customers too, which was great. But I kind of saw it more as that, and until about 22, maybe 2023, and now I'm starting to see it kind of shift to fixtures making some sense. I know that there's throwaway, I know that, but I think a lot of things are, and I think people are just getting used to the idea of it. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is, it just might be what it is.
It's
Is
not
that
sustainable. No.
I know,
I
but I
don't
mean,
think I don't think the reality is really landed. Okay? And
yeah,
here's
yeah, yeah,
why.
yeah.
I don't think that, I you know in the, so you're talking about like T-bar ceilings. Okay? So let's talk about
Hmm.
T-bar ceilings for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Removing fixtures is a real messy pain in the butt in T-bar ceilings. Okay, you got
Yes.
to unchain them, and this like there's dust up there, and you cause a lot of trouble. Retrofitting is so much nicer for people. Okay.
Well, I should specify though. I'm talking. I do a ton of kits where it's a fixture component, but it's not a tube anymore. Now it's you keep the housing
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
do
Okay.
the door frame. But anyways,
But
yes,
what
keep going.
I'm referring to, and I never liked the trajectory of the lighting industry on this one right now. I don't like where we're at. I like the products we're coming out with right now in terms of different type A, B, multiple color temperatures, multiple wattages. I like this kind of selection we're going to be able to provide the customers. But the you know the drywall problem is coming hard
Hmm.
because pulling recessed cans out of drywall ceilings and replacing them causes a lot of problems on the ceilings.
Yeah.
And like it's not easy, okay? And like let's set aside, you have all these people, circular economy people out there, like you know, how many fixtures have you removed in your career, sir, from a building? Oh, none, but I think we can do that. No, no. Used fixtures are scrap metal. No, 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 no. They can. Yes, they are. Okay? They're scrap metal. Nobody wants them. Now, there may be a decorative light fixture out there that maybe you can do something with, but if I pull out 1,000 2x4s from a building, those are going immediately to the landfill. Not landfill, sorry, the metal recycler. They're getting
Yeah.
crushed up, and they're going to be melted down into metal again or whatever. There's no reusing this stuff. Circular economy types get a grip. Um, it's the sheet metal so thin you could bend the thing in half. But this is a problem, Greg. This phase that we're in right now, the garbage phase, certified garbage phase, is what we're in right now. You know, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, but this was DLC or this was UL listed, blah 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 blah. It's just garbage, dude. And people are gonna have to rip this stuff out of their ceilings, and they can't fix it. And I don't think that's landed fully yet. I don't think the impact of that is landed. Now, I've been predicting this. I think I called 2020 the year of the warranty pig. I was early.
Yeah. Might
Now
be your
we're
last
in the
game.
certified garbage phase.
Yeah.
Well, time to make money on certified garbage. That's all I can say.
That's what you got to do. The phases of lighting, adapt with them.
Like, okay, so Greg, you can put your hat on and you can say I'm in my premier lighting hat mode, right?
Hmm.
Or I'm in my voting as a citizen mode, or I'm in my get a grip on lighting mode, right? Or whatever mode you're in, top G mode you're in right now. You're a top G. So, as a top G, what should the lighting industry do?
Take charge of it. Somebody like kind of get it back under control, and make it similar to how it used to be, where you can replace components and things. And I know I just said that I'm thinking people are accepting the fixture thing. I think they are because they have to.
Mm-hmm.
But
They're
you
not
got to get
accepting
like
it.
the
They
thing.
just have no choice.
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah.
That's not
And
acceptance.
so
Acceptance implies
I'd
a
say
choice.
give them the choice. Then that's what we need to do, is give people the choice to still upgrade their lighting, but have it replaceable and serviceable, and all that goes with it. And I don't know if we'll get there. I know they act like it, but I don't know. Everything new that comes out is just
Well, you've been calling for
one
leadership
more.
in the lighting industry since I met you. Not since I met you. Probably since about you got on the nailed board and were on the executive council of the nailed board.
Yeah,
You
that's probably
realize
in 14 or
2012,
so.
14,
Yeah,
something like
12.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And you're like, this industry has, is, well led, but could be led better.
hmm
Was kind of your position then. And then, we need to get this thing under control. And then,
yeah.
everyone went bankrupt or out of business or changed their name. And you've been calling for 2016, 17. You've been calling for leadership in this industry. That's 7 years ago now. Have you seen any leadership happen in this industry?
It's going to get worse. No, I haven't. Nobody's stepping up. Everybody's pointing fingers and saying, "Ah, that's just where we're at." Frustrating. Take it back.
Yeah, I feel like this is a societal problem. There's a transition from baby boomers. I would say that I would say that there's a couple problems. The number one problem being a lot of people hanging on, old people,
Sure.
not allowing the next generation, the Gen Xers, to take over. I think there's a lot of institutional rot. There's institutions that have come out of COVID or come out of the LED lighting boom, and they don't have any mojo. They don't
hmm
know what they're about. They don't know what they're supposed to do, or they're retreating into their minimalist phase of what they're supposed to do. Then you got outsiders, the non-player characters, you know, charities that are pushing the latest nonsense, lumens per watt or whatever it is. We need that key metric, that we can tell everyone what to do on and make money on. And they disguise themselves as charities, but they're really places where people get extraordinarily rich for doing nothing.
Yeah.
For not providing lighting, not selling lighting, not manufacturing lighting, just nothing. And causing trouble, actually. This shouldn't say nothing, just causing trouble. And
Yeah.
so, what are you going to do? Are you going to be the leader of this industry, bud? It looks like it's you. You've been calling for it for so long. Maybe it's time for Greg Ehrich to step up.
I got enough stuff to do. We need a group. Need the organizations that should be in charge to get back in charge.
Which organization is that?
Well, there's one.
I mean, if you're talking about the IES, they just make standards.
But they're also the authority. Take charge. Be the authority if you're going to call yourself that.
I don't know if they are. Is that what they call themselves?
I mean, they have. I don't know if they still put it out there as much, but yeah.
Yeah. And the MPCs are a big problem, right? Department of
Told them.
Energy, DLC, these guys. They're just
Yeah.
it's anti-leadership coming out of the government with this stupid incandescent ban. What a joke.
Yep.
And then, lumens per watt.
But
We need a metric. I don't know.
the NPCs are starting to go to EVs, so go that way.
Yeah,
Go
get
the
out of
electric way.
here. Get out of
Go,
here.
go, go.
Go.
Build the electrical infrastructure.
Yeah,
Go.
go shit in someone else's cornflakes.
Right.
It's like, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, so we're in a phase, that's for sure.
I think the important thing to know is that we're always in a phase, right? And then just understanding where you're at and that it's going to change.
That's what
again.
Brian's doing such a
Yeah.
good job down at Pacific Lamp, and he's looking at
Yeah.
these phases. He's responding to them with his, in the way he can. And like that, we're in the darkness restoration phase, right? But you still got to sell what your customer wants to buy, as a distributor. And that's what, some of the people that we work with on the Restoring Darkness side and the Lighting and Darkness Foundation side, they don't understand is that, we're not in charge of what people buy.
Yeah.
That's someone else. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds in terms of phases, but it's good to know what phase you're in. I think we're going into the night restoration phase or the night preservation phase. That's coming hot. Okay. And I think we're going to be my prediction is we're going to go back to lampshapes. We have to. Like, I'm not talking, like, listen, there's wonderful, wonderful things we can do with LED. The promise of LED is legit as long as we don't overdo the promise.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, how many people does it take to change a light bulb? Like, that's not even a joke anymore, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
None, because there is no light bulb, you idiot. You got to change the fixture. Right? So, I mean, we're coming into this phase. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be profitable. It's going to be exciting, but maybe Greg and I will stop complaining so much. Once Greg becomes the head of the lighting industry of the world, takes it over.
That's all.
Greg Ehrich, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I'm here to announce, is that I'm going to keep doing what I do.
Greg Ehrich is going to take over the lighting industry the same way he took over little, White Bear Lake football. He's going to take him right to the championship. Right, Greg?
Centennial now, yeah. Then
Oh,
we won the
Centennial.
state, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Came from White Bear. You got it.
Straight out of White Bear.
Yep.
Folks, Top G are calling you to join Nailed. You do that by going, if you have light bulbs in a warehouse, that is, because hey, it's not a lighting club. It's a lighting people that have warehouses and sell lights over the counter and on websites and whatever over the phone. NAILD.org if you're one of those. And of course, we got to talk about grip block systems, Greg. I mean,
Yeah.
keeping it neat, keeping it tight. Get that jack chain out of here, buddy.
Yeah, and especially that Rincon system they have too. That nice thin cable, clean modern look. No separate power cord needed. It's right in the cable itself. Let's go.
Whew. Yeah, I just love that. It sounds so beautiful. I gotta get. I
Yeah,
haven't seen that. I've seen it in the field, but I haven't seen one in my hands. Because they
get
often
you one.
come installed on the fixtures already.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
want to get one from Grip Block Systems. So go check them out. Go to gripblocksystems.com. And of course, you, the listener, all 70,000 of you that press play in 2023, we just got that. That's pretty crazy, Greg. 70,000 people press play in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Wow.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye for now.